So Keyshawn Davis recently came out and said Devin versus Rolly is 50-50. If y'all been following me, I've been saying that it's 60-40 for months now, because I understand boxing is not about what you did yesterday. Sports, athletics is about what have you done for me lately. You know why? These guys are human beings. All right? Even though they have superhuman qualities, some of them, they're human beings. So tomorrow they're going to be different. A year from now, they're going to be different. They're going to go up or they're going to go down. They're not going to maintain the same level of performance. And one day, they're all going to go down because Father Time is undefeated. What does that mean? That means when you see Rolly Romero, you cannot look at him as the Rolly Romero that got knocked out by Tank. You cannot look at him as the Rolly Romero that was about to get knocked out by Barroso. Rolly Romero has got a brand new coach. He's been with Ismail Salas, developing real skills for the first time in his entire life. This is a guy who's coming from a Taekwondo background. So you have to be patient with Rolly and understand his development. When somebody is just learning boxing, it's going to be a learning curve. It's going to take time. His fight against Ryan Garcia, he shocked Ryan and he shocked anybody else who was paying attention. He was patient. He was less jumpy and fidgety. And he worked behind a touch jab. That's a keystone of the Cuban style. Rigondeaux, Lara, they like to measure you with a touching jab where they just stick it out. A measure jab, right? Or a probing jab. And Rolly was learning. He learned that one skill and was able to get a knockdown on Ryan. And then he went on to dominate Ryan. So when he fought Tank, I don't even know if he had 14 fights. I think that was his 14th professional fight. He gets knocked out. Of course, he didn't even grow up boxing. He had a Taekwondo background, started late, and they put him in there with the great Tank Davis. But he learned from that. The Barroso fight, he learned from that. The Pitbull fight, he's learned from that. Every time you get into a fight, win, lose, or draw, you grow. If you're man enough to grow. Some guys, they lose a fight and they act like that, their life is over. Which is unrealistic because in life, you're going to have ups and downs. Right? But Rolly, he's gotten his ass whooped time and time again. But he's also dished out some ass whoopings. Recently, a really good ass whooping on Ryan Garcia. And I believe that what Ismail Salas is doing with him, Ismail Salas, the same guy that just coached Carlos Ademes to that perfect performance against Ammo Williams. When I say perfect, I think he won every round. The same Ismail Salas that worked with Guillermo Rigondeaux, you know what I mean? That's just worked with all these great boxers that knows what he's doing, that won Coach of the Year in 96. I just seen that today. I didn't know that. I wasn't alive in 96. You know what I mean? But this dude is decorated, and the proof is in the pudding. I watched Rolly against Ryan Garcia. I was like, damn, this guy got better. So, and on top of him having a good coach, he may have better coaching than Devin. Who is coaching Devin? Rolly has the one thing that evaded Devin his entire career. Devin has never had a good coach for a long period of time. He worked with the Mayweathers, but that was for a short time. Other than that, his main coach was his dad. After the Ryan Garcia demolition, even though Ryan got caught on the PEDs, they decided we need to add more people to this team because Bill Haney can't do it. He doesn't really have a real boxing background. No offense to Bill. So Rolly is strong in the era where Devin may be weak. Who is coaching Devin right now? I don't know who it is, but I bet you it's not Ismail Salas. Great coaching could lead somebody that has a little bit of talent to beat somebody who has ginormous talent. That's what we've seen with Muhammad Ali and Ken Norton. Ken Norton had Eddie Futch, the boxing wizard. You know what I mean? The boxing sage who cooked up that game plan. And Ali could never get a clear victory over Ken Norton. He could never get a clear victory over Ken Norton because of good coaching and strategy and a man that showed up in good shape and was physically strong. And Ken Norton was a football player turned boxer, right? A lot of time when somebody got that physical strength like Rolly, some people say he got that Riri strength, but Rolly, with his natural strength, he has things that Devin doesn't have, and his power. You know what I mean? Rolly has a very hard head as well. So he has physical gifts and great coaching. This is a dangerous fight for Devin. This fight is more dangerous than Brian Norman. Rolly has been under the lights plenty of times now. That plays a big factor. Not everybody wins their first big fight, but you keep taking them to the show, they may get accustomed to the lights. Rolly fought Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis and Pitbull Cruz in front of that big Mexican crowd. So he's not going to be shocked by the audience or by the moment of being there with Devin Haney. He has good coaching and he's starting to take his time. And he's had rounds. He's had top level rounds. Now, Devin is supposed to win. Devin is the better fighter, right? Devin has the footwork. He's a better boxer. But this is a dangerous fight. To me, Rolly reminds me of Tony, I think it's Gelato, the guy that Joe Louis fought. And Joe Louis got dropped in that fight. You know why? Because Tony Two-Ton, yeah, he wasn't a polished fighter, but he came to win. He talked a bunch of trash, and he was strong as hell. He had good power, and he believed in himself. Now, Tony Two-Ton ended up getting knocked out, you know? But Joe Louis had that power. Devin doesn't have that. So Rolly may just get outboxed for 12 rounds, but Devin is going to get hurt at different moments in this fight. There's no way around it. And Devin probably going to gain a greater respect for Rolly if he doesn't already, even than he had for Brian Norman. Because Rolly, to me, he's going to perform better than Brian Norman because of his experience level. Brian never been at that level. That's why Brian was bad-mouthing Devin so much, like he was just going to step over him, not understanding. Devin Haney's style is one of the most hardest styles to deal with. Constant movement, Devin, Lomachenko, Usyk, Ali in his heyday when he was Cassius Clay. When somebody constantly moving, that's a moving target. That's basic boxing knowledge. It's one of the hardest things to deal with. So this is a 60-40 fight in favor of Devin Haney. I don't agree with Keyshawn. It's not 50-50. Rolly getting better, but he ain't there yet, in my opinion. But I look forward to seeing this fight, man. Shout out to Devin Haney for making these big fights for the last, 6-7 years. He's the only one out of his contemporaries that's been moving like that. You know? Ryan Garcia as well, but Ryan, he kind of dialed back after the Rolly fight. He kind of dialed back. Because he was on fire. I don't care if Ryan wins or loses. Get your ass out there and fight the best, because a lot of people don't have the heart to do it. But y'all let me know what y'all think.